Welcome back. This demo is called Feeling Lazy. Let's describe instead. So this is a reference to the fact that from time to time when the circuits are getting too big, it's easier to use harder description languages than just drag and dropping the gates and wiring them. This is the most critical part. So as you can see, this is like a decoder for a 7-segment display, depending, for example, the bit encoding, and you get the correct LEDs in the 7-segment display that's got activated. So the caution which is next to it is called Gaston Lagaffe, which is part of a comic, which is a very lazy boy, and that's why it's written au boulot, which means let's go to work which means that he's going to have a nap. So joke aside, and let's go back to MicroSim. So let's open this 7-segment display.microsim, and let's just open this file by double clicking on it. So as you can see, you have the ABC till J segments and the inputs on 4 bits, and depending on the numbers that I am giving this, for example 0, I will enable different pins, and by default it's blank. So let's just press play. And yeah, so what you can see here, this is a very interesting fact. I enabled the fact to have some random. What it means is that on power off, it should not provide, for example, power on reset. It will just put some random stuff in the registers of the circuits, so that it's more like a real hardware. So there's the 0, then we have the 1, we have the 5, we have the 7, etc. And we can have the C, and 1010 is A, etc. Wonderful. Now let us scale up, because what is great with hardware description languages is that it's yet another level of indirection, but we can gain in terms of productivity. So let's add, for example, this keyboard to 7-segment display. So we have our hexadecimal to 7-segment display, and here is a very primitive simple keyboard which has this, for example, this input, and depending on the input that is enabled, it will raise the correct signal to the hexadecimal, to the hex to 7 display. So let's press play, and let's just remove this random value, and yeah, we have the 0. Now let me press 1, 5, 9, 8, etc. I like to do some live editing. So let's just, instead of having, for example, this simple keyboard which is here, instead of 1, let me put a C. So when you can press the first button, it should raise a C instead of a 1. That's not very productive, but for sake of the demo, it's interesting. So we have a C. Now I've still got the 2, and etc. So with this concludes the Feeling Lazy demo. I hope you enjoy it, and see you next time.